Hi, my name is Yui. I'm happy to be a guide for you in this series. We aim to bring the knowledge of the Microsoft security products for you so that you can understand and apply these technical configurations for your real business. And if you already watched the reverse guide, you can understand the method to manage and protect mobile and desktop applications with in Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Today, in this video, I will show you how to investigate and remediate threats to your organization with Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. And you will see how Microsoft Defender for Endpoint can help you identify suspicious activities, investigate risks to your organization, and remediate the threats. Microsoft Defender for Endpoint is a unified endpoint security platform for preventative protection, post-breach detection, automatic investigation, and incident response. You can access these capabilities from the Microsoft Defender Security Center. To get started, select Settings. Next, scroll down and locate the Device Management settings. Select Onboarding. To start onboarding your organization's devices to Defender for Endpoint, you will first select the applicable operating systems. Let's view the types of operating system you can choose. In addition to Windows, you can onboard Defender for Endpoint to devices with non-Windows operating systems, including macOS, Linux, iOS, and Android. In this case, the devices are already onboarded for this organization. Next, let's view the type deployment methods you can choose. You can choose the deployment method that is most convenient for your organization, including group policy, System Center Configuration Manager, or Mobile Device Management, Microsoft Intune. In this case, we'll leave the deployment method as is. Now that we have reviewed the options for onboarding devices, so let's return to the home page. Here you can see the Security Operations dashboard. This dashboard enables centralized risk management by providing an operational view of the organization's endpoints and users. And you can see an overview of the latest alert, their severity, and when they were observed. So scroll down to see more of this page. And you can also see the machines and users at risk and the number of associated alerts by severity. Scroll down to see more of this page. Now that we've just reviewed the dashboard, let's investigate what's driving these metrics. First, select Incidents. So the incidents queue shows a collection of incidents that were flagged from machines in your network. So it has you sort through incidents to prioritize them and create an informed cybersecurity response. And you can see details such as the severity, categories, and number of active alerts for each incident. So let's drill into a recent incident to get more information and determine what actions to take. Alerts are security-related incidents collected from an organization's endpoints and flagged by the Defender for Endpoint service. Here you can see the latest alert from all machines that are onboarded in your organization, along with the severity of each alert. Severity indicates the potential impact the associated malware may have on an organization as a whole, not just to a single endpoint or a single user. So let's dive into one of these alerts. At the top of the alert, you can see how this incident has affected the entire organization. And you can also see what users and machines were involved in this incident. And to view the alert details, scroll down in the detail page. According to the alert description, PowerShell dropped a suspicious file on the machine and executed it. And to investigate further, scroll down the page to review the alert story. You can see the name of the file that was rubbed includes backdoor in its name, which sounds suspicious, right? And to continue review the alert story, scroll down the page. For the purpose of this example, let's toggle to a different view for this alert. Now let's continue our investigation by viewing more information about the suspicious file. First, scroll down to the alert process tree. Next, let's select the name of the file. You can investigate the details of a file associated with a specific alert, behavior, or event. Investigating the details can help you determine if the file exhibits malicious activities, identify the attack motivation, and understand the potential scope of the breach. And to enrich the data related to the file, navigate to the Deep Analysis pane. The Deep Analysis feature executes a file in a secure, fully instrumented cloud environment. Deep Analysis results show the file's activities, observe behaviors, and associated artifacts, such as profiles, registry modifications, and communication with IPs. This file has already been submitted for a deep analysis. Let's take a closer look at the results. Here you can see that the suspect file makes a system file communicate with an external IP address. For even more information, navigate to the Observe in Organization pane. This page provides the name of the file as it is observed in the organization and its prevalence in specific user devices. So now let's navigate to the machines list to see how to investigate an at-risk machine. Here you can see a list of machines in your organization where alerts were generated. So this list can be filtered by risk level, exposure level, OS platform, and more. So let's view more details for one of these machines. Here you can see an overview of the active alerts, log on users, and security assessment for this machine. Next, select alerts. And the alerts queue shows a list of alerts on the machine. Let's take a closer look at the alert title, Suspicious Process Injection Observed. First, scroll down the pane to view more details. Next, scroll down to review the alert story. During the automatic investigation, Defender observed a suspicious process injection for the notepad.exe process. Next, scroll down to continue reviewing the alert story. To remediate the issue, scroll down in the Details pane and select the link titled Suspicious Process Injection Observed. Here you can see a graph tells the story of the investigation. For example, it shows you what activity was observed, on which device, the entities analyzed, and evidence file. Let's look at the alert for another machine address. Scroll down to review the alerts. Next, select Timeline. Here you can see a detailed timeline that shows all events observed from this machine from up to 6 months ago. To filter the events in the timeline, select Filters. Next, select File, Events, and then click Apply. The timeline is now filtered for the file events, and you can also search for specific events. To narrow the results, we'll search for the event for .doc files. Next, select an event to drill into it further. So the detailed view of the event shows the detected alerts, the services involved, and the affected files. Next, scroll down the Details pane and select the file name. Here you can see more details about the file. Next, select Open File page. On the overview pane for the file, you can see that the file was detected in 3 email inboxes. Next, select Open in my Office 365. This is the Office 365 Security and Compliance Center in Microsoft 365. Here you can see that the malware in question was delivered and blocked. Scroll down to view more details. Deep integration with Microsoft Defender for Office 365 enables you to see who else in the organization received this mail and the associated delivery actions and locations. Now that we investigate the email, let's return to the Microsoft Defender Security Center. So next, navigate to the Threat Analytics dashboard. Threat Analytics is a set of reports published by Microsoft security researchers as soon as emerging threats and outbreaks are identified. And the Threat Analytics dashboard provides an overview of the threats covered in this report. It shows the latest threats, high-impact threats, and a summary of the threats that impact your organization. Select the Leaving off the lane threat to view its report. Each threat report provides an overview of the threat and an analysis of the technique and tools used by the threat. It also provides worldwide impact on information, mitigation recommendations, and detection information. And each report also includes several cards that show dynamic data about how the organization will be impacted by the threat and how prepared it is to stop the threat. Next, scroll down to review the report. Now let's navigate to the machine list to look at another way to investigate a machine at risk. This time, we will select a high-risk machine. Next, in the top right corner of the screen, select the Analysis to review the drop-down menu. Next, select Initiate Live Response Session. Live Response is a capability that gives you instant access to a machine using a remote shell connection. This enables you to do in-depth investigate work and take immediate response actions to promptly contain identified threats in real time. So let's run the help command to see what commands are available to assist in our investigation. Next, run the file command to locate all instance of Notepad on this device. Next, you could run a command to remediate the issues. And let's move on and look at the command log. The command log screen shows a history of all commands that have been executed on device via the live response sessions. Next, let's navigate to the Action Center. Here you can see a remediation actions that are pending approval, including the remediation we just performed. Next, select History. Here you can see a history of actions that have been taken, and you can select an action to view more details about it. For example, let's select the quarantine file actions. Note that you can undo the action from here. Next, close the Details pane and navigate back to the Machines list. Next, let's initiate a live response session for the machine so we can look at some other actions you can perform. To respond to certain types of incidents, you can upload files to a library on the device. First, select Upload File to Library. Next, choose the file to upload. And we'll select the PowerShell script that will help you collect event log data on a device for investigation. Next, select Confirm. And the script file was successfully uploaded. Now let's review the files in the library on this device. And at the end of this list, you can see the file we just uploaded. Now let's run the command to collect event log data. So the command ran successfully. You can now use this console to download the event log data and review it locally. Now let's look at how to use third-party forensics tools to gather forensics information from an endpoint manager. First, choose a file to upload to the library. In this example, we will dump a master file table using the NFTs info applet from sysinternals. Next, select the NTFS info executable. Next, we will upload a simple PowerShell script that will be used to call the executable. Now let's review our library again. And you can see the two files were successfully uploaded to the library. Next, run the put file command to copy the NTFS info file to the downloads folder for Defender. And now we use the PowerShell script to call it run executable. And the executable runs correctly and has dumped the MFT data from memory into a file. Now let's navigate to Power BI to look at some report visualizations. While the Microsoft Defender for Endpoint provides extensive visibility on the security posture of your organization through built-in dashboards, custom reporting can combine security data from multiple sources to create additional insights. And these reports were built using data collected by Microsoft Defender for Endpoint Service and exposed through its APIs. Let's review the first dashboard. Here you can see two charts. The events chart leverages the Advanced Hunting API. Let's select it. Here you can see the Advanced Hunting query used to generate a report. And you can use this report to quickly determine if there is a rise in activity and which machines are most impacted. This report can be shared, exported, and even supplied to as a feed, so your organization's security operating system team can also look at it. And you just learn how to use Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, and you can have to identify the suspicious activities, investigate risks to your organization, and remediate threats. Thanks for your watching, and see you in the next video.